Hello. So now we enter into the mid-20s, early to mid-20s, getting closer to current day, when I started to have some things started coming together. Basically, ever since the early 20s when I had that awakening with this Kundalini serpent, things have basically just been progressing. And it has gotten to the point now when many amazing things are happening. But let me go back to the 20s. So like I was saying, I had my first contact with the dead at age 21, in 2004, and when I was living in this house, and have been having other breakthrough dreams, like I spoke of. It was also at this point, I've been a painter my entire life, and have always excelled in the arts. It's always been my good area. I am a true artist. So at age 22, after years of painting, things that came to me, I also decided that I was going to start painting my dreams because I had been having so many lucid dreams and I wanted to share this with people. And it was that feeling, I didn't realize it then, but this feeling of wanting to share my experiences on the other side with other people would grow much more as I got older. And it's at this point as well that I was doing a lot of research about the occult in art, about, ghosts, parapsychology. There was a lot of, I was beginning to look here and there at things about psychics with psychic abilities, really focusing a lot on dreams in my research at this point. Carlos Castellanos, The Art of Dreaming. There are many other books as well that all spoke of people who really do realize and grasp the importance of dreams and astral travel. But I'm going to tell you about, actually I'll bring it back to that. I'm going to jump forward to actually almost current day. This is last summer when things really started getting crazy. And in July, at age 25, in 2008, I started having what I like to call waking visions, where I began meditating at this time, and in doing that, would close my eyes and see visions. So I started kind of being able to gauge it, even potentially, dictate for a second what I would see, or at least once something was shown to me, I could alter it with my mind and my inner vision. So that was interesting. But then I started having these times where I'd be on the subway here in New York, in Brooklyn, and I would close my eyes and I would see things. Like I did that one time when I was 9, when I was about to fall asleep, and I saw the cloaked figure with the changing faces. Only I was awake. I was fully awake, sitting on a subway train. So that was huge, and a major, major, massive difference. And I decided to focus on these visions and to see what would happen, because my whole life I've seen other things. Here's another great example. When I was 23, 24, something like that, I had a waking vision like this as well. But it was the in-between dreaming and waking, closer to, there was still the dream aspect. I was about to fall asleep. I had a vision of a strange fruit. And it was a very specific image. I saw the fruit, and then I also saw a heart, a silver heart, put it just with one heart in the middle and linking with chains on either side. A month later, a friend of mine gives me a one-of-a-kind jacket made by a designer from London, and there's probably only one of these jackets in the entire world, and she gave it to me, and it was exactly what I had seen. Details of this jacket are what I had seen in this vision months before, and then I was suddenly holding it in my hand, saying, this has got to be one of the craziest things that's ever happened. So that's another example. There were things that were happening, but there was nothing like this, where I was getting these direct visions It was almost like watching TV, but it was very simple in the beginning. I'm currently trying to write a proper chronicle of how the images have progressed and, whatnot, because it's a very beautiful process of unfolding enlightenment and information that I'm getting from the universe, and they're speaking to me in images, basically. Um, these waking visions, I don't know, I'll continue. So I started having waking visions, which has become a major part of my life now, because I have them almost every day in some degree. In August of last year, so I started seeing things. In August, I was starting to really, for the first time, learn about spirit guides. I had always known that there were beings, and I had always felt their presence and known and received their guidance and spoken with them my whole life. And, I had never really been in a situation where I realized that I could actually call to them and really directly address them, because I'd never done that. I always just kind of felt, as which is right to think that they were part of me and that it wasn't some like separate thing which I could call, but indeed they are. And so in August, I began to really focus on my psychic abilities now that I was having these visions and just kind of reflecting on my life up until this point. I kind of, and through all the years of telling people the stories, when I was 21 as well, when I hit that point, that revelation, like, I really started telling people about all of the psychic experiences and the paranormal experiences that I've had throughout my life, and really started to share these things with everyone, including my family. I had hid a lot of these things and experiences from everyone. I didn't share it with anyone for a large portion of my early life. Don't ask me why, but that was just a decision that I made. So I really, I kind of came to terms with myself last summer and realized that, yes, I do have psychic abilities and I can see to the other side and communicate with the other side. I can leave my body and astral travel. I can hear people's thoughts sometimes. I do have these abilities, you know. Now I'm having these waking visions. I should maybe try and start to focus and learn more about what's going on. And you know, I I just realized that that's what I have to be done. So I started going to, thankfully I was living in Brooklyn and in New York, so I had an amazing place where I could actually reach out and find other people, kind of trying to find similar answers or interested in the same things, and got involved in some psychic groups, and quickly realized that I definitely had massive psychic abilities that I was completely unaware of up until that point, or had never really tested, so to speak. Hadn't proven to myself that they were there. And immediately was like, well, I need to do something else. I need to do something, because they were just talking about it, and I wanted to do something where I got to practice and do it that wouldn't kill my wallet. Because there are some wonderful schools you can go to, but I didn't have the money to pay. So, um, I was focusing on my abilities, and in going to these classes, also for the first time, got uh, a message from my spirit guides, and they actually, three of them, introduced themselves to me, and clearly spoke into my ear, as if they were standing right next to me, which is also very interesting. It's something that I'm experiencing more and more now, and have only experienced recently, which is quite interesting. Also, in the same vein as that, I was hearing my name being called everywhere right before I officially, um, asked my spirit guides to introduce themselves to me. So always hearing my name, always hearing my name. And I finally decided I was going to answer the call, and something incredible happened, which I will continue on in my next segment. Thank you.